Gspree gang, we've made it. It's finally Next Fest week, June 2025. I hope you're ready for me to backlog some content on some new and upcoming demos, and I hope you're ready to hear from them for about the next 2 months. I mean, if everything goes right, I'd love to backlog some stuff, but, you know, we'll see. I have high hopes for Next Fest this year, but I feel like it's honestly lost a lot of its charm. Around 2 years ago when I really got into Next Fest, maybe a year and a half ago, it was new. I was just getting into the indie scene, trying out some new games, some new devs, and hopefully getting into my next addiction. And then after Next Fest week, you just had to wishlist the games and wait. The demos did not stick around, but now it's mostly just an opportunity for people to use a category on Steam to get more eyes on their game, which, don't get me wrong, is absolutely fantastic. It's how a lot of games need to get their traction these days, and especially with the Summer Games Fest stuff that happened this last weekend, there's a lot of new stuff to get eyes on. But the event itself now isn't really needed. Demos don't become unavailable after a week. New demos come out every single week. You just have to find where to look, and if there is a category in Steam for demos, use that. And then especially with today's social media marketing, the developers are taking other routes to get eyes on their game and players playing them. And the demo is so strong. It's such a strong utility, especially for new indie games. And these demos are crazy. Some of these demos range from, you get a couple minutes to play, you get a level to play or 2 levels to play. Some of it's just a whole game as of what's now available and developed for production. So in my opinion, it's a new age for demos in indie development, which is pretty obvious if you've been watching my videos recently, as most of the roguelike games that I've been playing have active demos, or the only thing that's available right now is the demo. But either way, I always look forward to Next Fest. I always look forward to just spending 2 hours just scrolling through the entire roguelike category and seeing what I can find. Either way, I'll leave more Next Fest chat for future Gavin to talk about. The future Gavin who's played Next Fest demos has already looked through all the category, because right now, it's not Next Fest. I mean, as the time recording this, obviously. Here's another thing though. I have demos already downloaded because PC Games Fest just happened and I downloaded like 8 demos that were showcased there. So I got a head start. I'm ready to go. But without further ado, let's get you right into this video. Gang, are you into gambling at all? I mean, I'm not, but this game has 0 stakes, so why not? And I don't know if that's really a good take or a bad take on gambling, but these are slot machines. We play on slot machines here. There's some sort of rift in the Salem-like village that we're living in, and the only way to defeat them is using those runes. Allow me to be your guide through this mythical space full of beasts, serpents, sentient slimes, orcs, witches, and other just beasts or creatures, whatever you want to call them. It's a scary place out there, so clutch your runes and make sure your grimoire is sealed tight, because it is the only thing keeping you and the rest of humanity alive. Well, maybe from just being overtaken by whatever the main enemy is here. All right, let's get into it. Are we all on the same page? You got your rune books? Are you ready to roll? Are you ready to take notes? Because this is going to be an extensive overview. I don't want you to miss anything. I mean, it's your loss here, gang. If you don't want to show up for this moment, right here, the whole world, humanity as we know it, will come crumbling down. We will cease to exist except for playthings for the greater gods of the underworld. All right, do I have your attention? We're going to start up at number 1 and kind of work our way down in terms of key mechanics and what's going on here. So the first thing you need to know is that this game is completely up to RNG and chance. So just have fun with it. There's nothing to break down. There's nothing to strategize. I mean, there is. But at the end of the day, it's a big old slot machine. We're just here to spin wheels. There's no actual money on the line. You know how good that feels? And you want to know how great it feels when you're gonna win eventually, hopefully? I mean, I do have some doubt in my teaching ability, but I hope what I can pass on to you will make you a greater slot machine expert wheel spinner than myself. Now, we've got a few basic mechanics before I can really tell you how I feel and think about the game. First up is your hold. You hold runes that you think are good and can lead to a better play, better matches, or if you really want to try rolling into a big combo. Again, it's all based on RNG. So if you think you're making a big brain play here, you're not. It was already decided. Call it destiny or something, but that's not you making that play. That's the game. The play that you are going to make or are not going to make was already determined. When you attack, the board will refresh all non-held runes and start matching them, and we'll get to all the matching and damage and numbers in a second. But the holds and the refresh leads up to our next mechanic, casting and meditating. Casts are your attack, and once I said as you hit cast, it refreshes all of your board except for all of your held runes, and you'll start the attack phase. But if you're not happy with your board and you really want to hit that X5 and you just need 1 or 2 more runes, you can choose to meditate. But be careful going all willy-nilly with these. You only get a refresh on your meditate after an elite boss or an actual boss battle, whereas your casts replenish after every every combat. Think of cast like your health. Once it goes down to 0, you lose. Move over, gspree. We interrupt this roguelike overview with some great news, some fantastic news. We as in me. Hi, hey, what's up? I have been graced by the developers at iDream Interactive with the ability to bring you full game codes for Runeborn. Are you interested? Do you like the stuff you see behind you? Are you itching to play some more roguelike slots? I mean, I know I am. With the full game set to release sometime in early July, you can get your hands on a full copy of this game by leaving a comment on what you're most looking forward to this week in Next Fest, or what you'd even like to see from me. Add your Steam name at the end or shoot me a message on Twitter, and I will select some winners myself. I've got 5 whole keys to do this for, so I think that's a pretty good number. Now, this isn't an ad or anything, but I do genuinely enjoy this game, so super huge thank you going out to iDream Interactive for letting me play this game a little bit early and giving me these keys. I've never been given keys to give away before. This is really cool. And of course, making a product that's actually worth giving a key out for. I feel like I don't really need to sell you on this game, but the demo is available this week for Next Fest, so go nuts. Or you can shoot me a message over on Twitter, but that'll be it for me. Alright, let's get you back into this book, shall we? The final mechanic you need to know is how in the rift does this book know what's going on? How does it know when it's time to shine? As I said, it's not you, it's the book. It's all up to the book. It's all up to the runes, baby. The runes! It's all about the runes! You hit cast and then what? You just throw the book at the enemy and hope that the biggest rocks do the most damage? No! Stop jumping to conclusions! This is an overview video. Let me get to that point. It'll happen naturally. You don't need to jump to conclusions. You don't need to think. You don't need to use your brain. I'm here to spout information at you so you don't have to think about it. I mean, throw the book? Really? That's what you thought of. You thought you were just gonna throw the book and have all of your problems go away. My shoulder cracked. So how in the world is this grimoire full of runes acting like a slot machine? I mean, you can see the spins and whatnot, but when it actually comes down to business, there's 5 ways it does damage. There's 5 total lines, one that runs across the top, middle, and bottom from left to right, and then the 4th and 5th lines, which are from top left to bottom middle to top right, and then flipped from bottom left, top middle, bottom right. So you might be thinking, where do I want to make sure I've got runes? Where can I get a good setup? On the left side, it goes from left to right. It's like a book, left to right. You start on the left, work your way right. That's it. I mean, maybe column B, row 2 is like one of the best things to hold on to, but I mean, that's just me talking. And that's really all the mechanics you need to know. I mean, you're just playing a matching game on a slot machine. That's about it, baby. Now, I'm a man of simplicity, and I look at the colors and I go, oh, I take what I know from previous games and compare it to what I'm looking at. Not sure where I'm going with this, but I played Puzzles and Dragons on my tablet like 8 years ago. I don't remember it at all, but I remember that there were colors and runes that you matched. It was a matching game, I'm pretty sure. So, match the colors. But are colors better than others, you might think? Is segregation real? Maybe some choice words could be replaced in that sentence, but colors do matter. But maybe if we want to be more PC about it, the elements matter. At least for the first few matches before you get some trinkets to really help you shine in specific categories. So there's 7 different elements total, which is fantastic. I love elements. I am incredibly attracted to the idea of elements. For a reason I will only disclose if somebody specifically asks me about it in the comments, and in such a specific way. Why do you love elements? Is it because of Pokemon? No, it's not because of Pokemon. Spoiler alert. It's close though. Where was I? Dark, ice, fire, lightning, earth, light, wild. I think that leads up to 7. Oh, technically 6 elements, and then the 7 is just a wild card, so it can be all of them. And all of these runes range from 10 to 20 damage. Dark being the least damage dealer, I think earth being at 18, and light being at 20. And then the wild card is right in the middle with 15. Also, each column has its own pool of runes, which is just insane depth in this, right? You don't have just a generic pool of runes for your entire board. No, the first column gets spun. Out of that pool of runes, you get 3. Second column has its own unique pool of runes. So really, there's a customizability that's able to be done here. You can destroy runes, you can add runes, you can even move runes, you can transition runes to different elements, and really just make these pools what you want them to be. It doesn't feel very malleable in the demo, but if you can really get some scrolls to help you out here and hit specific shops between stages, you can make the first column all green if you wanted to. We might be jumping the gun a little bit, so let's back up here. Along our story, we also pick up these trinkets, which give our board or our runes passive buffs, ranging from extra holds to more damage to multipliers to gaining more money, damage type multipliers, and more. There's even a trinket where if you have 1 earth element that matches or 1 earth rune that matches, it counts for 5 matches. I had an entire run where I based everything off of this 1 trinket, so my entire first column was all green, my entire second second column had 0 greens, and that's all you do. You hold everything in the first 2 columns and then you cast. And I mentioned you reach shops between stages. There are many different shopkeepers, and before every encounter you get to choose which encounter you want. Each encounter has 3 distinct, I think it's 3 distinct rewards or traits, I guess. You have who you're fighting, what buff or debuff that you have for the fight, the reward that you get, and then who you get to talk to as the shopkeep after the fight. It is ranged from least difficult to most difficult obviously having a larger debuff, but also greater rewards, more money. And then the shopkeeps don't really matter here. You kind of just pick whichever one you'd like to go to. So if you want to talk to the guy that destroys runes, boom, you can go to talk to the guy that destroys runes. If you want more trinkets, you can go talk to the trinket master. If you want to just go look at charms for the runes specifically, there's a person to do that. Charms give little unique bonuses to specific runes. There's even a person that sells just runes, and then there's just the generic dude that sells kind of whatever, you know, scrolls, runes, trinkets, the whole shebang. Now, I don't want to make this video drag on too long, so I think we're going to end it out here, but I appreciate you sticking around for this long and checking out the new sneak peek of this new game, and most importantly, have fun with Next Fest this week, and let me know if there's anything you want to see.